were writing today, weren't you, in the Mail on Sunday, about EU nationals, legally, of course, living and working here. And you're saying this whole idea, and Theresa May's muddied the waters as well, hasn't she, saying that we might have to even visit the issue of EU nationals that live here already. You're saying indefinite leave to remain protection only applies before a certain date. Well, what would that date be?
Let's put the backdrop to it first, if I may. I mean, number one, I want to see a generous settlement for the people here already, because they didn't pick this circumstance. We did. You know, they came here thinking they could be here for life and whatever. Some have been here for many, many decades. So we want to get a generous settlement for them. We want to do that at the same time as we get a similarly generous settlement for British citizens leaving within the EU. Now, there's been a concern raised that the sheer generosity of the settlement, you know, leave to remain, pension rights, whatever it might be.
But are you saying, just pause a minute, Mr. Davis, those that are already here from the EU, that's not in question? Theresa May seemed to say that might have to be negotiated.
We have to do it all together. I'm telling you what my aim is, right? At the moment, I have a lot of aims.
But there's not a blanket assurance now that if you're from the EU and you live in this country, you can stay.
Let me say this. I would expect to get to a circumstance where everybody's well protected. But if we separate it out, or if we preempt it, then you put somebody else at risk. So somebody said, oh, you're using people as bargaining counters. No, we're not. We're stopping anybody being used as bargaining counters by doing it all together. So that's where we start. But if we make a very generous settlement, as I'd like to do, then people then say, oh, but then that'll attract lots more people in because they want to beat the deadline. And so what I've said is, let's deal with that issue when we come to it. One way of dealing with it could be saying, okay, only people who arrive before a certain date get this protection. There are other ways too. But we've got to do it within the law as it stands, because at that point, we'll still be within the European Union.
But this certain date, and you've been unspecific about what that certain date might be, you've started the rush now, haven't you? Because people listening are going to be saying, right, yeah, I want to come and live in the UK, and there is going to be a date. We don't know what it is, but it certainly isn't now.
If you
set, come now.
I tell you, if you set a date, that's when you start the rush. But you've got
but even by saying there is going to be one.
No, I don't think so, because people will understand, look, that if they come here in a big rush to sort of try and grab a set of advantages that we're putting in place for people who have come here expecting us to remain within the European Union forever, and they've done exactly the right thing. You know, they come to work, they're doing a good job, they're paying their taxes. We mustn't, if we can possibly avoid it, penalise them. And so I don't intend that we should.